Welcome back to KBC News Check, and as mentioned earlier on, we are focusing heavily or bulkily on matters youth, and now, because of the interest of time, allow me to just go straight into the conversation where we're looking at youth empowerment, where we're bridging the gap of illiteracy and unskilled among the youth. And joining me on set, beginning from my from my immediate left, we have Faith Matayen, who is a fellow at GRIC. Karibu sana to the program. And just next to her, we have Samuel Mwaye. Samuel Mwaye, who is the program manager of GRIC. Maybe being the program manager, you can set the conversation, set the mood of the conversation by telling us a little bit about GRIC and what exactly you are doing to resonate with the youth.
Thank you. GRIC is an abbreviation for Grassroots Nest for Innovations and Change. Mm-hmm. We are a non-profit organization that believes that every young people, every young person, mm-hmm. no matter where they come from, has an opportunity for upward social mobility, improved livelihoods, and every child, no matter where they come from, mm-hmm. should access quality education. Mm-hmm. So primarily we work in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, but the fellowship program that we run presently mm-hmm. has fellows from across the region and away from the region. Mm-hmm. So we are an organization committed to and working towards ensuring that every young person and every child mm-hmm. has access to quality education and improved livelihood. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Maybe, Faith, you can also dig in and tell us what exactly you do as a fellow of GRIC.
So I'm currently running a CBO in Kajiado West, and we are dealing with women empowerment, entrepreneurship, as well as climate resilience. Mm-hmm. Mainly because you find that when it comes to climate change, women are the most affected when it comes to going for firewood, fetching mm-hmm. water, and so on. So they absorb the most shocks of climate change. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, what exactly, what are some of the programs that you have that, as I mentioned earlier, are resonating with the youth, and how have you been able, because she's mentioned that she is from Kajiado West, which is quite interior, if you ask me, and you are able to get there, and you're not only here in Kenya, you also have spread your tentacles to the region.
Yeah. I mean, thank you, sir. We strongly believe that these young people, wherever they are, they have the skills, they have the potential. All is lacking is bringing them together and upskilling them further. Mm-hmm. So the fellowship program that we run is keen on building an ecosystem within those remote communities that even beyond the time they are in the fellowship program, they can run programs. Mm-hmm. Faith, for example, was in the fellowship program. She's graduated. Now, because of the vision that she had, she's running a program in our own communities. And she's just an example of the many that do the same. Mm-hmm. So we saw an opportunity that the young people have skills, they have potential, they really want to do something for their communities, mm-hmm. but they're not being involved in the discourses. They're not being skilled enough. They're in the periphery of this conversation. So how do you bring them, skill them, and let them serve their communities, especially those remote communities? And I must say that Faith doesn't come from the remotest. We work further in where the locals or the local systems don't get to. So our strategy is to get very remote, get the young people from those communities, build them to support the ecosystem even in our absence. Mm.
Yeah. Picking from where Samuel has left, I'm looking at empowerment, and you decided after you've graduated and you gotten the skills that you needed. How did you integrate those skills into the community, and what exactly are you doing to impact not only your life but also of everyone that you are working with?
Thank you very much, and it's worth noting that they did not only impart the skills, but they also held my hand. You know, grant writing can be something, especially for the youth. It requires a lot of expertise, like a lot of expertise in grant writing. So what GRIC did is they held my hand applying for the grants, and that is how I was actually able to get the first grant as an organization. So after I got the grant, I remember the very first time that it was like a big time for me, because I imagined there was a lot of responsibility ahead of me. But they mentored me from the initial stages up to now. Yeah. So something that we need to consider when it comes to training people, education, and so on, is that we have to be very intentional about the skills that we impart to these people, mentoring them, that even after they have been through the fellowship, we hold their hands. Yeah. Yeah.
And what exactly are you doing practically? What exactly are you doing? Is it a CBO on maybe community service? What exactly are you doing?
So as a CBO, we are training women on entrepreneurship. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, we train them on how they can be able to add value to their ventures. Say for instance, women in Kajiado West do beadwork. So we train them on how they can be able to add value to their beads so that they can sell to larger markets even outside the country. The other thing that we do is on climate action. We train them on how to address climate actions from the grassroots. And then the other thing is we also talk to them or mentor them on how they can be able to speak about issues in the community. And something that we can even make reference to is the land issue in Magadi. When you watch the clip that was shared by Lynn Ngugi, you realize that we only had one woman in that conversation. Does it mean that the issue didn't affect the women in that community? Absolutely not. But it is because of the low confidence levels among the women. And we really can't blame them. It's the patriarchal society. So as young people who are coming from these communities, we have to be very intentional about equipping them with the skills to be able to stand up for their rights. Yeah.
Sam, I'm looking at youth in East Africa who are facing significant challenges, especially unemployment being one of them and lack of institutional support as well. How does a Greek Africa model, which you've mentioned that providing volunteer service component, bridge that gap between the theory, that is the training, and the practicality, which is more or less livelihood?
Thank you. Greek saw a gap that on one hand we have especially CBOs that are doing amazing work in these communities. On the other hand, we have young people who can be used to then support the CBOs. Then we came to bridge the gap and to answer the question. So we have these young people who are a resource but not being utilized, you know. Then we have these people doing an amazing work in the communities who don't know that this resource exists. So what we do, we combine theory and practice and really run away from theory. Faith, for example, was placed in a CBO where she learned skills. So as you train them on project design, for example, she's doing it experientially in those communities. If you teach them about any other skill that you teach them, they are doing it experientially. We strongly believe that theory should come to an end. It should not be perpetual. So blending theory and practice is the one way to go. And then knowing that these young people of today are not only going to go for jobs, the job market is shifting. They're not the conventional, white-collar job. So what other pathways can they partake of? A lot of them come from the fellowship and want to start their own ventures, their own businesses. For us, the beauty of it as Greek is that even if they go and start a business, they'll always remember the communities that they worked in, because all of them are aligned to a CBO where they serve. So they can go become sort of business, do whatever they do, but even as they make profit, they remember that there's a challenge that they need to address back in their communities. Yeah.
And still on the same, I'm looking at programs, government programs, because you are not a government project. I'm looking at projects like Nyota. Is it more or less the same business module, or how can you work with institutions like Nyota to complement the youth and also not only upskill their skills, but also so that they may find something that they can do that can bring income as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we train them on these entrepreneurship skills, we point them to these opportunities that are there. There's Nyota, and there are more digital skills that they can look up to. Yeah. So we appreciate the role the government does, because literally it's their responsibility. We're just coming in to support them. So we point them to these opportunities, we link them to these opportunities, and what will surprise you is that a lot of young people don't know the existence of some of these opportunities, the education level notwithstanding. So programs such as the one we do and other similar ones is an opportunity for them to be shown that there is this opportunity, this is how you can do it. You'll be surprised that even the ones that don't know that there's a Nyota program don't know how to go about it. So we appreciate what the government does. We see our role as supporting the government in collectively uplifting the young people of Kenya and by extension East Africa.
Yeah, and being a Greek graduate, how do you in turn pay what already you have really squeezed from Greek, and you're not making a living? How do you pay back in terms of maybe other people that you're mentoring and also incorporating in your program?
Yeah, so I'm paying it forward by volunteering. Ever since, I've been volunteering for such a long time, and I've kept doing that. Telling people, also telling people about these programs. Some of them don't know. Sharing the links whenever there is an application cycle. And also, you see, volunteering there's a way it connects you to your original goal and so on. So even after graduating and running a CBO, I still volunteer with other organizations like the Global Youth Mobilization, where I get to actually mentor people who are also implementing CBOs in their own communities, not only in Kenya, not only in East Africa, but globally. Yeah.
Sam, I'm looking at Greek being a nest for innovation.
Yes.
And I want you to just name one creative community work that you have done that can be scaled up, because I feel when institutions like Greek come, they can only scratch the surface. You know, the country is so vast, and of course there are other projects that you're doing that can ensure that our project that you have done that has ensured more or less, if it's scaled up, it can help even more, or even partners in terms of government agencies, non-government organizations as well.
Thank you. In addition to this work that we do, we have a lot of work we're doing in literacy and numeracy. And this is where we've seen a lot of good results. When I started working at Greek and went to Kajiado, for example, I met a grade 5 who could not read the word boy. You know, that thing stays with me. Because for me, a grade 5 should be reading fluently. But then the reality is different, and data tells us the same. One program that Greek has done, and that has done quite well, is having an after-school program that supports these learners to read without interfering with the normal education system. I think that is something that, if taken, contextualized, and upscaled, should be taken up by more partners to look at. Having just a learner not being able to read limits their pathway through life. If you're in grade 5, you can't read the word boy, a skill you should have gotten at grade 2. What happens to you in grade 7? You cannot even be a driver of a car, because you need to read signs. So I think one innovation that we've done quite well is we've contextualized an after-school learning program to look for these learners who are struggling to read and do basic arithmetic. And you'll be surprised at their numbers. There are many, especially the rural areas that we work in. So we really rally for partners to come and join us in this venture. We cannot have a nation that doesn't read. We cannot have young people who are not reading. And data that has been published shows that they're not reading. Come to the ground, you realize that a good number of them are not reading. So learners are coming to school, but they're not reading. So what can we then do innovatively as a community, plus the government and every other player, to make these learners read and read fluently?
Faith, mentorship, I'm quite sure, has really pushed you a lot since you started out and till now. How has it helped you, mentorship? Because it's lacking. How has it helped you realize your full potential?
Because I've been able to learn from people who have gone before me and now know the challenges and are able to tell me from experience how I should be able to, what exactly I'm supposed to do to overcome them. So mentorship also gives you an opportunity to have someone so close, someone who is very intentional about seeing you succeed. So it's something that is lacking in the community, in the society. We don't have mentors, and that is why we have so many people, so many young people who are actually committing suicide, because we currently have a lot of competition in the society. People are not willing to actually mentor people to see them rise from one step to another. So to young people out there, you need to get a mentor. You cannot do it alone. You need to hear from someone who has gone before you and is able to tell you from experience exactly what you're supposed to do so that you can make progress in life.
Sam, quite some good words in regards to that, and the youth. I hope you're writing somewhere. You're picking some notes. You're in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, Sam, and I'm looking at this being a regional network of young leaders and strengthening their individual efforts as well. How do you, the essence that we are now in the East African community and the region, we have Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, how is this network helping out? And how are we doing as a country? Because you have to start in Kenya so that you may spread your tentacles.
Thank you. We started the program in Kenya, rightfully so, and then grew it to Uganda and Tanzania. How this is helping is that when you have cross-border learning, the innovations become more succinct. What is happening in Kajiado, and we work in the northern Uganda, so a young person like Faith now has connections to cross-learn with somebody from northern Uganda and from Arusha and Manyara. So when they come together as a collective, and we're very intentional about bringing them together to cross-learn, share ideas. When they come together, the ideas that they come with to support their communities are beyond the average. It is not the normal things that young people do. And I'll really encourage that young people watching us, be intentional about two things. learn from across the borders, learn from away from your basic ecosystem, look beyond the borders. So we are doing well as a country, Kenya, in terms of youth process development, but we can still do more. Let me tell you, we have a lot of young people who are creative, innovative, but they're in the periphery of these conversations. Let us bring them to these tables and let them have a say in this table. Don't just bring them to market to tick a box, but let them be part of the design of the programs that we are doing, even as a government and as CBOs. So we are doing well, but the work is still heavy.
How many youths are we talking about in your program?
So on average, we have 2 cohorts per year. We get applications of, on average per cohort, around 3,000-4,000 applicants from across the region. But because of resource constraints, we can only do 75, which breaks our hearts because we see the desire of young people to be in these processes, but then we can only do so much. So per year we do 150 graduates, but then after graduation we get them into this incubation center where mentorship continues to happen and innovations are molded. So 150 per year, but I can tell you that the desire, the hunger, breaks our heart. Imagine taking 75 out of 3,000 applicants.
Yeah.
And they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all very good young people. So I think that's one of the most challenging part of our work, that you need to trim from 3,000 plus to 75.
Still on the same, how about partnership? Maybe because I feel if you are able to collect about 10,000 youths in a year and you can only take about 150, I think that maybe there are some other places that maybe they can, more or less the same as yours, that they can also get help, because that's a big number.
Absolutely, big. We are now in the process of calling everybody who can join us in this course to work together with us. We are able to point them to the young people like Faith and many more from across the region, like Tyson Obando. Very creative young people who are serving their communities. So we are calling people to join us for this course, but allow me to reiterate that it breaks our heart every time we do recruitment, that we have to cut off at 75.
Yeah, and Faith, I'm looking at your journey of mentorship and of course starting a CBO and mentorship. You're now mentoring others. How has the journey been, and what are some of the challenges that you have faced as well?
So it has not been easy because sometimes you're coupled with mentees who have no initiative, who are not intentional about getting mentored. So as a mentor, you end up getting fatigued. And so most of the time, you have to be really reaching out to this mentee, telling them exactly what they're supposed to do, but in the same breath, you're expecting to hear from them exactly what they want to be mentored on. So there are a lot of challenges, but all the same, I am happy to inform you that there has also been a lot of wins in the same space because you find that some people are also very intentional about getting mentored, and through that, from my community, I've been able to see young girls that I've mentored going to the university. So they have learned from my story, a story that I'll share some other day. They learned from my story and they're like, we want to be like Faith. Yeah. So now when you are coupled with such a person, it's easier. So I've seen a lot of people, young girls from my village going to the university, being successful in life and so forth. So I'll encourage the mentors not to, get tired, keep doing the Lord's work, because our service to humanity is the rent that we pay here on earth. Yes, and there's also something that I want to mention, that most of the time we talk of youth empowerment, but are we really empowering these youth? For instance, Greek ensures that you have the skills, and you find that some other programs ensure that you just go through the program, get educated, and there's a difference between education and skills training. Because in skills training, you get to get some competencies, be it soft skills, be it some skills that will actually be of value to the job market and even to your own life. Say, for example, you might be so good at your job, but again, you're not kind, you're not courteous. So automatically, you don't fit the bill in the job market. So we need to actually be so intentional about the skills that we impart to these young people. And lastly, when it comes to youth empowerment, you find that youths are called to the table. They share their opinions, but their ideas, their opinions are never incorporated into key processes and procedures. So they are only there for a show. So as a country, as organizations, we need to be to respect the ideas of these young people, because we are no longer the leaders of tomorrow. We are actually leaders of today, and by far we are the largest in the whole world, and we have a lot of potential. So it's time that all stakeholders in the community need to take us seriously. Yeah, because we have a lot of potential. And you've seen during the June 25th Mandamano, you see how the Youth Coalition was able to actually bring key changes in the government. Yeah.
Yes, Sam, I totally concur with what Faith is talking about. And you sitting here and listening to some of these challenges that she has observed, I'm quite sure there are a number as well who have seen, and as you as well have seen these challenges. So how do you think we should work around these challenges?
Bring the youth to the table, listen to them, have them be part of the processes. What I agree with Faith, a lot of these things have been a tick box process. You know, we have a youth program, yes. But what ideas from the young people are involved in intentionally designing the program that serve them? At Greek, we are keen to make sure that every cohort we have, we tweak something because we are listening. You know, they'll tell you we want more of this, less of that. When you listen to them, then that's what we need to do. So let them not be in the table just for the sake of being in the table. Let them be part of the processes, and intentionally so.
Yeah, and because of the interest of time, Faith, they say a candle never loses anything by lighting another candle. And the youth out there who are listening and would want maybe to get in touch, and maybe there are some who have lost hope. Give them hope and tell them what exactly they need to do. Because the good thing about the youth, they have the energy, they have the skill set, they have the mindset, and most of all, they have the passion.
So if you're out there and you're feeling that you've lost hope, I want to tell you that you matter. I want to tell you that you're powerful, that you have that inherent strength in you to achieve whatever that you want to achieve. If only you can conceive it in your mind, then surely you can do it. So I want to encourage you that no one said it will be easy, and that tough times don't last, but tough people do. So keep pushing. We are here to support you. We are here to clap for you. You will get there. Don't give up.
Sam, you also have a graduation, I hear?
Yes.
Tell us about it, and I want you also to reach out to the youth who are watching and who have sat down, listened to the conversation and are interested. How do they get help?
With the graduation, we have a graduation for cohort 6. Really proud of this moment. Young people from East Africa coming together to celebrate, you know, that milestone here in Nairobi. So you are invited, and we hope to see you there. To the young people who've heard and feel inspired, start somewhere. You don't need to see the whole staircase. What you can see, start with that. So all I can tell them is, as Faith said, do not give up hope. Start somewhere, but start now. Start now. Greek is there. Go to the website www.greekafrica.org. Please apply for the fellowship. We wish you best of luck. We said it's 3,000. Currently get 75 for now. We hope to get more as resources come in. But apply. Apply. Don't be shy to apply.
Where are you based? Because somebody might wonder, how can I be able to... Here she is from Kajiado West, and she was able to get the training, and now she's... Look at her.
Yeah, we are based in Westlands, Wayakiwe, Haven Court Block D. But our programs are primarily in Kajiado. So we welcome you to engage us. We always listen to the young people. If you have an idea that you think can help us grow this work, please come.
And the two of you, I'm just giving you a minute. My director informs me that I ran out of time, but allow me to give you a minute each for your closing remarks.
Okay. So for the youth, I am a youth, and I know how it means to be sidelined and be at the periphery of key processes and procedures. But don't give up. Make sure when you go to that room, shine. Let them know of your ideas, because surely they will definitely bring a change in the society. So I believe in you, and I hope that in the next few years we'll be talking of different stories of how we've risen from the embers and how we've transformed our societies. Thank you.
Sam, start somewhere, start now. Do it excellently. Do it as it's never been done before. Let the world not tell you that it can't be done. It can be done, and it will be done by you. So start here, start now.
And maybe you can talk about just a sneak peek in regards to all this. We have a lot of incubation, and let's say they're doing a good job and you want to scale it up. What are some of the partnerships that you would seek?
We are looking for spaces where we can have more mentors to come join us. We're seeing more mentors, because this work of mentorship is quite intense. So if you are somebody who is passionate about young people, please join us in this journey. If you know an idea that is worth being taken to scale, please come to Greek. We listen. So that nest is very intentional in our name. We are a nest. we don't shut anybody down. So please join us. Let's have a moment to talk about these things. And be sure that we listen and listen intentionally.
I'm also very passionate about Matters Youth. I'm not a youth, yes, but I'm passionate about Matters Youth. But thank you indeed so much for what you're doing, and your story, indeed, continue inspiring other people as well. Well, that's why we put a cap on KBC News Check this Tuesday morning. Many thanks indeed for joining us. We've been talking to ladies and gentlemen who know it all when it comes to Matters Youth and empowerment. We've been speaking to Greek Africa Programs Manager Samuel Mwai and Faith Matayen, who is a fellow and also a beneficiary of this great program. I'm now giving the baton to the Swahili desk for Kurunzi Mashinani and Tamrini. I'll see you at 1 p.m. for lunchtime news. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Ben Troy Njue. Karon Joroge is our sign language interpreter. And many thanks indeed for joining us.